Moore's testimony continues. After what happened at the lab, everyone at the station, myself included, was a bit on edge. We had a bunch of missing people, the family and friends of whom were breathing down our necks within a day of rumors spreading, and our only witness wasn't in the right mental state to tell us anything. I was more unnerved than the others, though, because I was there first. So when the call came and I heard what was going on, I felt like I was going to throw up. Over the course of one night, we received about a dozen emergency calls from Alden, all of which sounded legitimate. Alden's too small to have a real police force. The most they have is a sheriff, a car, and a few guns inside a puny former office building. So, they call us for the big emergencies. The call started at 8:45 when a local hunter called from his lodge to report that his friends hadn't returned from what was supposed to be a short trip. An hour later, an old woman called to say that she saw something moving outside her summer home. 50 minutes after that, a little girl called us to say she had seen a monster outside of her window. Her parents had gone out to calm her down. They hadn't come back. The calls kept coming in, even after those first three, but the others were pretty similar. Eventually, the calls just stopped. I was called in after the last one had been recorded. It was a woman. She said her name was Sandra Williams. She said that she and the rest of the town had huddled up in the high school. There's something outside, she said. We keep hearing it out in the streets. It sounds big. We went to Alden at dawn and found a school full of very frightened and very tired people. Once that was done, we all formed search parties to go out looking for the missing townspeople. I was in charge of the second largest group, and we took to the alleyways and backyards. All I saw was a trampoline with its mesh sliding stripped apart, a few cars with their doors opened, and 7 piles of clothes, all torn, all bloodless. I see. Now, before we take a break, I need to bring up something you said previously. You mentioned having a nightmare the same night. Can you tell me about it? Why? They're just dreams. Just, please, tell us. Why do I need to? All I can tell you is that the scientists who are working on the coffin may have experienced nightmares similar to yours. Now, will you please recount your first dream? Alright. I was standing in some kind of field or plain, surrounded by trees on all sides. It was dusk, so the light was getting dim, but I could still see the ground beneath me and the horizon. I knew something wasn't right almost immediately. It was so quiet and the air didn't move. There were no signs of life at all around me. I got this feeling that the place, wherever the hell it was a dead place. A place where nothing could grow or thrive. I started walking, but the ground never moved when I did. It was like I was walking in place. And then a shadow fell over me, and I got this feeling of being watched from someplace high up. I looked up, and there, above me, where the sun should have been, was this big, swollen tumor that moved like a heart. And as I looked, it got closer and closer, making the ground tremble as it did. Then something moved just underneath the ground, something I couldn't see, but I could still feel through the soles of my shoes. Something very large, something that kept me from running. And then I heard something pierce through the quiet, something that tore it up and filled my ears, and I wanted to cover my ears, but I couldn't. What did you hear? Screaming. Men, children, women, all of them screaming like their skin was being pulled off their bodies, screaming like they had been set on fire. The tumor was right above me now, and when I looked up, I got a good look at the surface. It wasn't a tumor. It was a mass of people, all naked, all fused together, with their own blood and skin, all bloody, all mutilated, all screaming and struggling to tear themselves free. Something beneath them, more people, I think, pressed up against them. Andrew was among them. I picked her out almost immediately. I told you about Andrew. We've been married for almost 12 years now. She's the light of my life. I'd do anything for her, and to see her like that, begging and screaming like that, I'm glad the phone woke me up. I see. Are you married? You got a girlfriend, boyfriend? Not as of right now, mister. Then you don't know shit. Moore gets from his chair. Mr. Moore, we're not done yet. Please sit. I'm taking a smoke break. Door slams. This next testimony was given by Sandra Williams, who recounts her night in the school. Not a heavy sleeper. I've been living alone for about 5 years, and I guess I'm a bit paranoid. Even out in Alden, which is, by all accounts, totally nice and pleasant. Never exactly felt safe at nighttime. I don't know, maybe it's just how close the woods are to my house. I've never been a big fan of the great outdoors. I just don't like the idea of being alone out there in the dark. Even before that night, I heard things near my backyard, and the constant mention of wolves and bears and snakes didn't help either. So, I guess my paranoia paid off. It was around midnight when I woke up. My house is a little one-story place with a big backyard. I heard and seen animals in there before, raccoons and cats mostly. But what I heard moving around in the dark sounded a lot bigger. I got up quickly, got on my socks, and went to the window of my bedroom. I didn't see anything but a tree trunk, so I went to the back door and looked out. It was so dark out there, my trees were pretty tall, and the moon was hidden. My porch lights have been getting on in the years, weren't as bright as they used to be. So when I turned them on, they barely lit up the porch. Couldn't see anything out there, so I thought maybe I'd scared or moved on or something. I had just started to go back to bed when I heard something bump to the side of the house, farther away from the backyard near the bedroom. A second later, the window in my bedroom shattered, and I ran out the front door as fast as I could. I tried my neighbor's house, but they were gone for the week, and I left my car behind, so I ran all the way into town. I got to the sheriff's office and told him what happened. Promised he'd send someone to check out my house and had me wait and fill out some paperwork, give me a statement. So, he sent someone out and sat back and waited. But the officer didn't come back, and then the calls started coming in, one after the other, each one making the sheriff more and more stressed. I tried to ask him what was going on, but he told me to wait at the station. Well, he went out and looked things over himself. I honestly didn't expect him to come back, but he did. He came back into the office, clutching his side and huffing like an asthmatic. I went over to see if he needed help, but he grabbed my shoulder and said, "Sandy, something's happening out there, something bad. We need to go to the school and meet up with the others. Something's out there. It's taking people." So you can expect. What he said made my heart leap into my throat, and it beat him to the car. We rode in silence, with me staring out the window, taking in the empty houses and cars. A few times I thought I saw something moving in the alleys and on the rooftops. I tried to dismiss them. It's just shadows and my exhaustion kicking in. But after what happened, I think whatever it was that came into our town was following the car. Our town is a school that obviously had been designed by someone who thought that Alden was going to become some massive city. It was a big, 4-story brick building with a lot of very tall windows. We were able to fit most of what was left of the town in the gym. Everyone looked scared and tired, and the mayor looked like he was about to have a heart attack. Everyone was just standing around looking worried or crying because someone they knew or loved had gone missing. I wasn't feeling very talkative, so I left the main group and wandered over to a nearby window. Everything was so still. There wasn't a breeze, there wasn't a sound from outside. It was like someone had just pressed the mute button on the world. I had even tuned out the people in the gym, trying to just get a hold of myself. I didn't bother trying to see who was or wasn't there, but I later learned that out of 1,000, only 523 people were left. A few hours passed and my eyes started to get heavy. Everyone else had quieted down and were just milling about, looking unsure of what to do. The families were all clustered together, trying to comfort each other. The full weight of what happened hit me right then, I think. I just leaned against the window as my knees got weak. Outside, the moon was hidden by clouds and pretty low on the horizon. It was that time of night when dawn wasn't too far away, but it still wasn't light out. The windows overlooked both the playground and the street that passed the school. I decided to stare out in space and try to keep myself calm. I kept telling myself that help would come soon, but I honestly didn't know if that was true. Maybe the calls hadn't gone through the real police. Maybe they didn't believe us, or maybe whatever was out there in the darkness had gone to Greenville first. That last thought made me want to throw up. I was about to go ask someone for their phone when I saw something. I saw something outside move. Didn't see all of it, but I saw how big it was, and I honestly can't find a word to describe how its silhouette looked besides wrong. I couldn't spend too much time trying to piece together what I had seen. The thing, whatever it was, had found us and was right outside the school. I alerted everyone, and they all set about going into the depths of the school to lock the doors and barricade the windows with whatever they could find. I commandeered a phone from someone and called the police in Greenvale. After about an hour, the people had fortified the school and came back. We all just sat, huddled together in the dark, listening. Honestly, didn't expect to hear anything. It's getting lighter outside, and I guess I was remembering all those childhood stories where the monster just vanishes at sunrise. But that wasn't the case. Just as the morning birdsong was starting, we heard one of the barricades near the gym break. I was one of the people who got to the barricade first. I saw the thing push the tables away from one of the windows near the main entrance. Again, I didn't see all of it, but I did see 3 hands clawing at the table, pushing it and splintering it with punches. I was close enough to see that the hands were bloodied, the skin in tatters, the nails ripped off, bits of glass stuck through the palms. But I never heard a sound from outside. No breathing, no grunting, no talking. The hands just kept coming at the table. Someone, a man who I think must have been a teacher, found a fire extinguisher somewhere in the building, so he tried bashing at the hands. He actually broke some fingers. I could hear the bones breaking from where I was. It took a few hits, but eventually the hands drew back through the window. That's when the smell hit me. I swear to you, it stank like the world's biggest infected cut. It was horrible. It reminded me of maggots, pus, and rotting meat. Then just left us alone after that. We could still hear it moving around the school. So we were all on edge, even after the police came. Honestly surprised none of them got attacked, too. I haven't gone back home yet. I don't think I can after what happened. I have a friend who still lives there, and she says that the whole town feels like a tomb. Everyone who still lives there can just feel how wrong the whole place is. She tells me that everyone there looks tired and afraid. Says she's been having bad dreams, although she won't tell me what they're about. She says that even the policemen who are stationed there are just as uneasy as the people who choose to stay. I'll have my friend get the things for me. He's gonna move away, and I think I'll join him. Alden isn't safe. I think it just needs to fade away.